Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the IDH, their part number 80001J in a US 19 finish. This is a half surface hinge. This would be a hinge that you would see in a variety of applications that would likely date several decades in the past. This hinge is a hinge that would be considered half surface. Half surface means that the leaf that applies to the door is surface mounted versus a half mortise, which would mean the leaf that's attached to the door would be mortised. So the door is the active word in the definition, so this is half surface, therefore to the face of the door. Very nice looking hinge. Ball tips, as you can see. When it's installed, it's going to look like that, or my hand is going to be the door and it will come up towards you, just like a left-hand reverse door would swing. If you're swinging out towards you, okay, or otherwise like this. The 80001 is the part number. The J in the part number comes in with as a reference to the section of their full line catalog that it comes out of. So it's handy. You can look at the part number and say, gosh, where is this in the catalog? Just go to the J section. So that's really helpful there. They offer this in a few different finishes, and let's go over it now, and then we'll get some dimensional properties. 003 for polished brass, 005 for antique brass, 014, and I'm looking at my cheat sheet, 014 for polished chrome, polished nickel, 015 for satin nickel, 019 for black, 026 for polished chrome, 08A might be some form of copper. Indeed, the kid's good. Antique copper, and then US 10B, which would be oil rubbed bronze. That would be a total of 10 finishes. Okay, where are you going to use this? Well, probably somewhere where you're replacing existing. I've been in 20 flat condo buildings, apartment buildings, really in Chicago on the west side. And these buildings were built in the 1920s or 1930s, things in that range. And you're going to see hardware like this. In those applications. I like watching old movies, let's say Marx Brothers movies, and studying the hardware as you watch the movie. You see, quite frankly, what was likely considered somewhat standard at that time would be financially difficult to reproduce. And then you see exquisite hardware that is from that bygone era, but it's a great resource. Old movies, great resource for old hardware. Overall height of the door leaf, about 2.5. Now let's study where the screw holes come in case you're replacing existing. About 3/8, down to the middle one at about 1.25 inches, down to the bottom one at about 2 1/8. The overall width of that door leaf from the frame portion looks like it's about 1.75 inches. Now the frame leaf itself, and that's so thin that it might just be surface mounted rather than mortised. Overall height of that leaf, 2.5. Studying the locations, again, they appear to be almost identical, or actually identical. 3/8 inch and 5/16 perhaps. And then down to 2.25. So they're very close. They're not identical, forgive me. I can see now that I look at it, they're not in the same place. A nice looking finish that's on here with the ball tip finials. They are made of solid brass. The screws are also brass, which are included. You'll get plenty of screws in a black finish. I'm going to say that they're somewhere in the range of 6 by 3/4, something in that range. Be very cautious when you're putting in solid brass screws. You want to be sure that you pre-drill the holes properly. Use a very, very well-fitting screwdriver. I have certain types of screwdrivers that I use for specialty applications. Got a black piece of hardware. The last thing that you want to do is strip that screw out, turn it into a brass, damaged screw, etc. You get the point. of what we're saying on that. There is a link below this video to a document called the product page where you can pull up not only all of the J section material, meaning these half-surface cabinet-style hinges, but you'll see all of the balance of material that would be in that area of solid brass door hinges, finials, cabinet hinges, and you'll see on those half-surface hinges they don't have one option. They have 4 options of size. And by the way, this I need to state now, these hinges are sold per pair. So when you buy one, you're buying a pair. You're getting 2. And that's regardless of what size of those half-surface offset hinges that you would get from them. They say that it's offset, and I'm studying the angle on the surface portion, but that's normal. Any half-surface hinge you have is going to have the barrel or the vertical axis of pivoting kicked off the face of the door, otherwise it's just not going to work very well. The rest of the catalog is nice because you'll be able to see other hardware that you might find difficult to locate. What I mean particularly are the Parliament hinges, wide throw hinges in effect that you're going to see on cabinet doors. You're going to see them in applications where you need a wide throw hinge. I've seen Parliament hinges installed on a lighthouse in Florida that was built in 1890. Shutters, I should say. The shutters close down because you've got the windows, and then you've got the masonry face up to the building, and those shutters need to open up to 180 degrees, requiring a wide throw hinge. So Parliament hinges are nice for that sort of use. In conclusion, the rest of that catalog is very handy to review as well. Okay. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the IDH products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Now, in conclusion, I'm partial to IDH. And the reason I am is because the fit and finish on their hardware is always quite good, well above average, sometimes even approaching very most excellent. They have a unique packaging system, and you may notice that I'm putting these parts back into the Ziploc bags, and the Ziploc bags is how they ship material, almost not everything, but almost everything, and that might seem a little bit nutty. However, the wall thickness on the bag is substantial, and what I like about them, and so many hardware people don't get it, is that they isolate the pieces from each other. While the screws are touching from each other, I've seen manufacturers just throw it all in together, and surely there's going to be damage. And when it's black, we talked about that earlier, there's going to be noticeable damage. So I'm partial to IDH for that reason. I'm also partial to them because they're good people. They bend over backwards, they do what they can, etc., etc., etc. If you have any questions on the IDH, they're part number 80001 in a J, in an 019 finish, half surface hinges in black, or any other IDH product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.